Hi guys, let's talk about fear. And today we'll talk about why do we fear and why are we so afraid of fear and why do we always run away from fear or anxiety. Fear and anxiety are kind of same, they're little different. So let's use them interchangeably for this conversation. So let's talk about fear. I think everyone hates fear. There is not a single species on this planet who agrees that they enjoy the fear. Some people enjoy the pain, some people enjoy the chosen fear, but nobody enjoys the unknown. Almost everybody is afraid of death. Almost everybody is afraid of humiliation or those small fear causing actions or phenomena that happens in our life. So let's talk about why do we fear? Well, there are a lot of answers to this question, but the simplest answer is because fear is a very simple survival mechanism that helped ancestors to live more. When you see or when you assume a lion, and doesn't matter whether the lion exists or not, you assume that there is lion, it might kill you. And if there is fear inside you, you might go away from the situation or a position or a place, and you'll survive no matter what. So it's just a simple biological thing. There is no philosophy in it, there is no science in it. This is just simple pure biology. You fear because fear helps you to survive. So far, fear helped you to survive so far. But the thing with fear as of today, 99% of the time, they won't kill you, right? People speak, the one of the most common fear is, well, there are two most common fear of public speaking and fear of talking with people in general, right? Fear of expressing yourself in front of people, whether you go and talk to stranger, or whether you go and give a speech in front of people. Well, because these are very very simple fears, and then there are complex fears, right? Always people worry about they will die, or people worry about something might happen to their family, or they worry about any certain situation. But at the end of the day, fear equals to the idea that you will die someday and you don't want it. So one of the foundational way to get rid of fear is to accept the fact that you will die someday. Because if you know for a fact that you will die, then you won't fear. This might sound contradictory, that I know I will die someday, but still I fear. Because you know you'll die, but still there is hope within you. There is an idea within your mind that I might die in the future, not today. But if you accept your death in this moment, that even if you die for the next second, then fear will just vanish. And that's the purest understanding of fear, that I accept my death. And the moment you accept the death, there is nothing to fear. But again, this is a very philosophical idea, and it's not really easy to understand or accept your death. But there are different ways to get rid of fear. One of the simplest way to get rid of fear is try small things. And this is a very practical idea. Try small things. No, fear is like fear is like a mountain, and small things is like a step. You might say a step cannot help us to conquer a mountain, but without step there is no progress. So take one step, do something very very small, very very small, That is nowhere near the fear, but just keep doing it. They say eighth wonder of the world is compounding. I change it to consistency. Consistency is beautiful, and you will see the wonders it does when you take it in your life, or when you try it by yourself. So do something very, very small. I won't give you an example because you know all the examples. And then you'll see that, like, imagine the first time you tried learning how to ride a bicycle. Initially you were afraid, but you just keep trying, and you learned it. Or the idea of standing up on your toes. You don't even remember about it. But still, the child of you might have faced the fear. Might me. The child within you definitely faced the fear. But still, you're like, I wanna know, I wanna stand up, I wanna explore more. And ta, now you're walking. So start small and then keep going. And one day there is no fear. Another simple way is to change the narrative. Because often always there is a stoic saying that you fear 99% of the time. You suffer 99% of the time in your mind and 1% in reality. And that's the same, right? When was the last time you fear of something and then that thing came true? Very, very rarely, right? You fear that people will humiliate you. Do they? They don't care. Nobody cares about you. You fear about that you'll die, but you're still alive. So as you can see that these are just narratives that you tell to yourself in your mind. Another narrative could be, I'm very weak. That's why I won't be able to perform. And that's why people will judge me. They say a very amazing thing that I've got to know is that confidence is also fair. You're never confident when you're really comfortable. For example, when you're in your own room, when nobody's there, are you really confident? No, you're just comfortable. So when you see somebody who's very, very confident, and you could really see the difference between being confident and being comfortable. Don't be confident, be comfortable. And comfortable means, yeah, you're just at ease. And that is a simple way. Comfort means, again, facing the situation again and again, again and again. If you talk about the spiritual way of getting rid of fear, in Hinduism they say, believe that you're Atma, you're Brahman. Believe that you won't die. Believe that you are forever. You are eternal. And body dies is a fact. And that's it. Again, the same thing but different words. In Stoicism, they say focus on what you can control. And when you really focus on what you can really control, then there is no fear. It's all about living in the present moment, just doing what you can control, and not really giving a shit about what you cannot. These are the philosophical takes. If you talk about what J. Krishnamurti talk about fear, what he says about fear, he says that just be aware, just be aware. Dig deeper inside your mind, dig deeper. Fear lies in your mind. The moment you the moment you submission to your thoughts, or the moment you kill your thoughts, not particularly or not specifically, but just within the idea of it, then you'll figure out that there is no fear. So just be aware. If we talk about the Osho's idea of getting rid of fear, he talks about almost the same thing: awareness and love. Because when you truly love somebody, something, then even if there is fear, you don't really care. If I ask you, will you die for your country? Or will you die for the person you love the most? You would say, obviously. See? So now you're accepting your own death with your own awareness because you love something more than yourself. So there are a lot of ways to get rid of fear. But without taking action. Without action, all of these ways are useless. You cannot get rid of fear without taking action. You have to face the fear. You might try to meditate on it. It will help you to give more better understanding about it, but it won't remove your fear until you really face it. And that's the answer. Just face it. Just face it. I know this sounds very absurd that the to get rid of fear to face is just to face the fear, but that's the answer. And you also know it. You also know it. It's not rocket science. You might rationalize it, but this is the best way to get rid of fear. In CBT, cognitive behavior therapy, you do the same. You try to know the cause of it, and that's it. The more you the if you know the reason, then that's it. Because now you can tackle the problem it is causing in your life. So these are the different ways to get rid of fear. And again, a beautiful saying is that the the ocean of fear is millions of miles wide, but 1 centimeter deep. You might find it very, very hard to fight with your fears, but the moment you step into it, you feel like, oh, that's easy. Because if anybody can do it, then you can do it. People don't have different minds. Everybody had the fear. Everybody has the fear. They fight with the same fear. Thank you so much.